there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking about the accuser who has added Jay-Z to their lawsuit that they can remain anonymous. So let's talk about it. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Copyright Act of 1976 is in my description box. So let's get into it. So right after, you guys, the Beyonce halftime show, the Beyonce Bowl, we need to get into, and this is the thing. I knew this was going to happen. I predicted this was going to happen, that there was going to be some announcement either before the halftime performance or after, and none other. Here we are. So this is everywhere, but it said the following, because this came out yesterday. And it says, Jay-Z's SA accuser can remain anonymous for now, per the judge. New York Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that the woman accusing Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs of RAPE when she was 13 can remain anonymous. New York Judge Annalisa Torres has ruled that the woman who is accusing Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs of RAPING her when she was 13 years old can remain anonymous for now. On Thursday, Torres ruled that Jane Doe can remain anonymous, but it reserves the right to revisit the decision at a future date. If the case continues, Jane Doe may be required to reveal her identity, according to the court documents obtained by Fox News. The Torres also noted that there is substantial interest from the public regarding the case. The judge also addressed the lawyers for Jay-Z, whose legal name is Sean Carter, specifically in the court document, not in the the court document. Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and attacks as inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client, Torres said, referring to Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because counsel demands it, she continued. Earlier this month, the music mogul filed a motion to dismiss the RAPE lawsuit. He also requested the court to deny the plaintiff's request to proceed anonymously. Jay-Z was accused of RAPING, a minor, along with Diddy, at an MTV VMAs after-party in 2000. Documents stating in his motion to dismiss, Jay-Z accused Texas-based lawyer Tony Busby, who is the attorney representing the Jane Doe, of running a sprawling extortion saga whose aim is to basis to be measured in dollars in financial gain. On Thursday, Busby told Fox News that the repeated attempts to discredit and smear the advocate for the alleged victims is a failing strategy. Spiro did not respond to Fox News' request for comment. On December 16th, Spiro spoke at Roc Nation's headquarters in New York and said that the accusations against Jay-Z are provably, demonstrably false. Also, there was a PowerPoint presentation as well that Jay-Z does not know anything about Diddy, which we'll talk about in a moment. Spiro referenced NBC News' recent interview with the unnamed Alabama woman admitting to making some mistakes when it came to recounting what happened at the VMAs after party. Spiro wanted to make it known that these inconsistencies are not minor. If you look at the time, it's not possible this could have happened. I want to make sure that this is clear. When people make it up an account, whether it is intentionally or their mind is blank or something, they can always get that core part of the story right. They can just keep repeating it over and over and over again. This is what happened, that core part. But they're always going to mess up the details. When something isn't real, when something doesn't happen, you're going to get the details wrong because you weren't really there. Spiro said, according to the Hollywood Reporter. This was not possible because this never happened, he added. Spiro mentioned that his client is upset over the situation. He's upset that somebody would be allowed to do this, would be allowed to make a mockery of the system like this. He is upset that this distracts and dissuades real victims from coming forward. He's upset that his kids and family have to deal with this, as he should be upset. So that is the latest, you guys. And like I said, I knew this was coming down the pipe. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Because, you know, we live in the, hey, you're innocent until proven guilty. But let's keep it a buck. This is the same attorney who represents Elon Musk, you guys. But my thing is this. The aggressive approach, and this is where I have to give this critique, right? If you're innocent, playing these games in the media,
trying to, volley back and forth with Busby and the media on whose bleep is bigger and who is going to, win in the court of a public opinion isn't the right strategy. It's not the right strategy at all. And it's an outdated tactic to try to manipulate media outlets to say and do things, that are going to be positive in your favor to basically convince the public one way or the other, right? And both Jay-Z's attorney and Tony Busby were guilty of doing this, right? But ultimately, regardless of what you're going to fuel out to the public, ultimately what the judge is going to decide and what is the courtroom going to decide is what is going to remain the factor. And it was interesting to me is how hard, because initially it was Busby who was going hard, right? And then he exposed that Jay-Z was suing him, right? Which then basically, set everything up ablaze, right? And then they had this back and forth, who was threatening who was trying to find out inside information on whose side and all this and that. And then we had the interview with the accuser that put a lot of doubt in people's minds that, oh, she's not credible, she's not believable, this is a win for Jay-Z, you falsely accuse this man. But the judge is saying, wait a second, we have, reason to believe to still move forward with this. Because the thing is, not only was the request for this accuser to her identity to be revealed, the request also was for this lawsuit to be dismissed, which on both accounts, the judge denied. So that tells me, at least, there's something else that the judge believes, whether it's via discovery, whatever's been presented thus far behind the scenes that we're not privy to yet. There's something in there that makes it seem that she's confident enough that this needs to move forward with Jay-Z still being a part of this lawsuit, which is very interesting, right? And then basically to scold Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, by saying, listen, your aggressive tactics and techniques, just because you are representing a powerful celebrity, a billionaire celebrity, is not going to work with me. You need to follow the judicial process just like every other Tom, Bleep, and Harry. you need to follow the process and let things play out the way they need to play out in court versus trying to have, like I said, the court of public opinion try to dictate things for you. And I was very concerned about this with how aggressive Alex Spiro was going, and specifically going as far as to saying, pulling a Mariah Carey, Jay-Z doesn't know Diddy nonsense when they have been friends for nearly 30 years, it seems. So nonetheless, there's plenty of receipts, and no, it's not just them at parties and all this and that, no. Diddy has said himself how personal friends him and Jay-Z are. I mean, you gotta factor in, these kids probably consider each other like play cousins at this point. That's how close Diddy has, said in previous interviews how close him and Jay-Z were. So for the attorney to come out and, you don't distance yourself from Diddy until you get added into the lawsuit. No. You should have came out guns blazing at least the moment Diddy got arrested. Like you had no ties, this and that. But now you only want to distance yourself because you're added to the lawsuit. No. But the problem is, there's more pictures and video of Jay-Z and Diddy together than there is of Jay-Z with his own family, with his own wife, you guys. So nonetheless, please miss me with you do not know Diddy. I feel that was a huge mistake, that was a huge faux pas, and that is going to backfire. And don't be shocked, you guys, if Diddy is not, because we know he's getting inside information, we know he's getting access that he shouldn't be having, but because, he's Diddy, he's going to find a way. Don't think for 1 second that he's going to try to get his get back for Jay-Z switching up on him. But this is nothing new, right? This is nothing new because we've seen it happen with Kanye. We've seen it happen with Memphis Bleak. We've seen it happen with Damon Dash. We have seen it with all of these people at one point in time who were close with Jay-Z. And then when something hits the fan, he pulls the I don't know you. I don't know you. You don't exist to me. You are DEAD to me and everything else. But I feel like in this particular time, now that this is a legal matter involved, I feel like this is not going to be the same thing. This is not going to be the same thing. And if there's actual receipts that Diddy actually has that is incriminating, that can not necessarily particularly with this case, because I still feel with this case, I still feel there's something bigger than this case that is going to come down the pipe. But I feel like this was like a warning of sorts to see how the public was going to move, right? To see how the public was going to react, to see how they were going to cover this, if people were going to ignore it, if people were going to say it was all a lie, and then they were going to, be more strategic on how they were going to let the rest of this case play out. But I feel like there's another case or cases that's really going to also be the smoking gun that is going to set the roof off of this whole thing. And that is what I am waiting for. Because in the lawsuit that Jay-Z and his team filed with Alex Spiro, that I believe it was like almost 300 pages or something, against Tony Busby, they alluded to that there were additional lawsuits and that there were additional accusers that Jay-Z, his name was coming up in, both male and female accusers. See, that's the piece that people are not talking about. They're focused in on this case, on whether or not the accuser is believable and all of these other things. My focus was on that countersuit that was like, listen, Jay-Z's name is out here in these streets in these other lawsuits that we don't even know about yet from both female and male accusers that might blow, like I said, might blow the whole roof off this thing once that comes out, right? But, the aggressive approach to, really try to shut all this down and be like, how dare you do this to Jay-Z? I felt like that was the wrong approach. Wrong approach. And it's going to be interesting because this is on the heels, like I said, of the NFL saying that they're going to be 10 toes down for Jay-Z. This is on the heels of still people, having mixed reviews, mixed feedback, even with the positive reception that Beyonce's performance received. People still, I don't know if you saw on social media, they were still hashtagging Diddy. They were still trying to put Jay-Z, Diddy, and Beyonce under the same umbrella, you guys. And also a certain demographic as well. They're creating, I guess, there's an outrage apparently. I guess they're trying to say Beyonce put up some type of GUN signs or some other type of signs and things that people found offensive. And I was like, really? So I'm like, of all things to critique and everything else, like there's things now that people are trying to grasp onto, and I just don't know moving forward how this is going to be beneficial when it's all said and done to Jay-Z. I truly don't. I feel like something bigger is on the pipe, and I feel like I said, this was the warning. This was the warning, and it is going to be interesting to see how this happens, right? Because if you guys keep forgetting, right, that this happened before. We've seen this all play out before. We've seen this happen, with R. Kelly. And we're not talking about the recent R. Kelly stuff that led to his arrest. We're talking about the initial accusations that were in the early 2000s, right? That actually had an actual tape. And he still was like essentially exonerated and everything else and released an album and everybody, was like singing Ignition. So nonetheless, Diddy, this happened to as well, right? Where he settled a civil case. And then after that, the floodgates opened of all these accusers, all these additional lawsuits, and then ultimately, once the feds put their case together, he's now sitting behind bars. So I'm paying close attention to, paying close attention to how this is all going to go. And I am curious to find out what you guys think about all of this and how you guys think this is all going to go. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.